All right, everyone, let's go ahead and give this a shot. We're going to go ahead and work on some transformations right now. We're going to go ahead and reflect over the x and y axis and how does that work, okay? So the most important skill that we're working on in this problem is recognizing where we are in space. We need to be able to recognize where two-dimensional objects move in space so that later on down the road we can recognize where three-dimensional objects work in real space. So here we go. The first thing that we're going to do in this problem is we're going to write down coordinates of this triangle. So the first thing that I'm going to do is write down -5, 1, -5, -2, and 0, -2. Now, in this first problem, we are going to reflect over the y-axis. Notice I have the y-axis highlighted right here. When we're reflecting over the y-axis, we're moving left to right, okay, or right to left. And so what we're going to do in this problem is we are going to go from here over here. Now, in a mirror, when something is super close to the mirror, it is going to stay super close to that mirror. So this point right here that is on the y-axis, it is going to remain on the y-axis. So let's go ahead and notice that this point, 0, -2, stays 0, -2. So the other points, notice that in this spot, we have a point, -5, +1. It is going to jump to the same distance away from the mirror. So if it's 5 from the left-hand side of the mirror, it's going to be 5 from the right-hand side of the mirror. It's going to jump over here. And notice what happens. The -5 becomes a +5, and the height didn't change. On the other point, it is 5 away, and it is going to go 5 away. -5 becomes +5. Now, I want you to notice in this problem what happens to our x values. If I highlight these x values, I want you to notice that the negatives became positive. And if they were in the positive and we reflected it to the left, the positive would become negative. Notice the height didn't change, therefore the y values did not change. And so in this problem, we can recognize the negative became positive. That's it. So the easy way to do this is think about what's happening on the coordinate grid. The negatives became positive. Let's apply that to our next problem. Step 1, we are going to write down the coordinates. I have the coordinate, let's see, -5, -2, -5, -5, and over here we have +2, -5. Now, because we are flipping over the x-axis, it is going up. It's going straight up, okay? Same distance away from the mirror, but what we learned in our previous problem is we can just change the sign. And so as I look at these signs, I notice, whoops, Mr. McCoy almost made a mistake. Because we're going bottom to top, we're moving up and down. That's not an x value, that's a y value. That's going to be the trickiest part in this, is recognizing that we're going from bottom to top, so we change the y value. So as I change my y value, -5, +5. -5, +2. +2, +5. All I did was change the y value and my new coordinates. Now notice that the orientation of my triangle has flipped. Okay, it went from bottom to top, my mirror on the x-axis. I hope you found this video helpful. The key to reflecting is knowing the coordinates, knowing where you are in space, and what direction you're headed. Till next time.